The History of Fragrance in Egypt. Chapter 1. The Ancient Origins of Fragrance in Egypt. In the sun-drenched landscapes along the Nile, where the ancient sands cradle the echoes of history, fragrance emerged as a vibrant thread woven into the cultural, religious, and daily life tapestry of ancient Egypt. From the bustling markets of Memphis to the sacred precincts of temples, the aromatic symphony of this land spoke of reverence, luxury, and the essence of life itself. Marketplaces and aromatic abundance. In the bustling marketplaces of ancient Egypt, the air was thick with the heady perfume of exotic spices, resins, and floral essences. Fragrance was not merely a luxury but an integral part of daily life, a sensory indulgence embraced by both the elite and the common folk. Spices and exotic ingredients. Egypt's strategic location at the crossroads of Africa and the Middle East made it a melting pot of aromatic influences. Spices like cinnamon, cardamom, and cumin, along with precious resins such as myrrh and frankincense, found their way into the market stalls. These aromatic treasures, brought by traders from distant lands, became essential ingredients in the culinary and perfumery traditions of ancient Egypt. Lotus and papyrus, botanical riches. The symbolic importance of botanicals extended beyond their fragrant properties. The lotus flower, revered for its beauty and symbolism of rebirth, was often used in perfumes and adorned the heads of gods and goddesses. Papyrus, the plant that flourished along the Nile, not only provided a writing surface but also contributed to the production of fragrant oils. Rituals and religion, aromatic offerings to the gods. In the sacred precincts of temples, fragrance played a pivotal role in the rituals and religious practices of ancient Egypt. The belief in the divine connection between the earthly and spiritual realms permeated every aspect of life, and scent became a conduit for this communion. Incense and sacred smoke. Incense held a sacred significance, its fragrant smoke believed to carry prayers and offerings to the gods. Temples were adorned with censers swinging from chains, releasing aromatic clouds of frankincense, myrrh, and kyphi, an ancient Egyptian incense blend made from aromatic herbs, resins, and wine. The ritualistic use of incense in temples became a sensory experience that connected worshippers to the divine. Myrrh and kyphi, sacred blends. Myrrh, with its earthy and resinous aroma, was a key ingredient in sacred perfumes and anointed the statues of deities. Kyphi, a complex concoction of myrrh, honey, wine, and various aromatic herbs, was meticulously crafted and burned during evening rituals. The aromatic symphony of kyphi was believed to purify the air, ward off evil spirits, and invoke divine blessings. Cosmetics and adornments, fragrant elegance. In the realm of beauty and personal adornment, fragrance held a prominent place. Both men and women of ancient Egypt adorned themselves with scented oils and cosmetics, not merely as a cosmetic enhancement but as a ritualistic and symbolic act. Aromatic oils and unguents. Perfumed oils were an essential part of the ancient Egyptian beauty regimen. These oils, often infused with scents like myrrh, frankincense, and cinnamon, were applied to the body for both cosmetic and aromatic purposes. Fragrant unguents, stored in ornate containers, were used to anoint the skin, providing a luxurious and scented layer to one's personal grooming. Kohl and scents. The allure of the eyes. The use of kohl, a cosmetic for accentuating the eyes, went hand in hand with fragrant preparations. Kohl tubes, adorned with intricate designs, held not only the dark pigment for eye makeup but also scented concoctions. The act of adorning the eyes with kohl became a sensual and fragrant expression of beauty, associated with protection against the sun's glare and symbolic of the eternal. Mummification and beyond. Fragrance in the afterlife. The significance of fragrance extended beyond the mortal realm to the realm of the afterlife. The ancient Egyptians believed in the continuity of life beyond death, and the preservation of the body played a crucial role in this belief. Myrrh and natron, preserving the journey to the afterlife. In the intricate process of mummification, fragrance played a dual role: preservation and symbolism. Myrrh, with its preservative properties, was used to anoint the deceased. The body, after being treated with natron, a naturally occurring salt, would be wrapped in linen soaked in aromatic oils, ensuring the preservation of the physical form for the journey to the afterlife. Scented tombs and funerary rituals. Tombs were not only repositories of the deceased but also spaces infused with fragrance. Aromatic substances were placed in tombs to create an olfactory ambience that transcended the earthly realm. Funerary rituals involved the burning of incense and the offering of scented oils, a symbolic act to ensure the deceased's safe passage to the afterlife. Fragrant eternity. The legacy of ancient Egyptian perfumery. The legacy of ancient Egyptian perfumery is an enduring one, echoing through the corridors of time. The fragrant practices that once adorned the temples and marketplaces, that accompanied the rituals of life and death, have left an indelible imprint on the olfactory history of the region. In the land of the pharaohs, fragrance was not merely a luxury but an integral aspect of existence, a cultural expression, a religious offering, and a daily indulgence. The aromatic symphony of ancient Egypt, with its spices, resins, and floral essences, became a fragrant ode to life, death, and the eternal journey beyond. Echoes of antiquity, a fragrant odyssey through time in civilization's embrace of perfume. In the hallowed corridors of history, the use of fragrant oils, resins, and perfumes emerges as a testament to the timeless allure of scent. From the cradle of civilization to the realms of ancient empires, evidence of fragrant materials discovered in tombs and archaeological sites unveils a fragrant odyssey that spans millennia, weaving olfactory threads through the fabric of human existence. The cradle of civilization, Mesopotamia, and the birth of perfume. As we delve into the annals of antiquity, Mesopotamia, the fertile crescent nestled between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, emerges as a pivotal nexus in the early history of perfumery. The Sumerians, among the world's first urban civilizations, left behind clay tablets inscribed with cuneiform script that revealed a fragrant panorama. Cuneiform tablets and aromatic alchemy. The earliest recorded recipes for perfumes were etched into these cuneiform tablets, providing a window into the aromatic practices of the time. Fragrant oils derived from plants, spices, and resins were meticulously combined in alchemical concoctions. Ingredients such as myrrh, cedarwood, and cypress featured prominently, creating blends that transcended the earthly and ventured into the sacred. Ancient Egypt, scented temples and rituals. The scented saga of perfumery finds an opulent chapter in the land of the pharaohs. Ancient Egypt. Here, fragrance was not merely an indulgence but a sacred rite woven into the very fabric of daily life, religious ceremonies, and the eternal journey to the afterlife. Tutankhamun's tomb, a scented time capsule. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb in the early 20th century was a fragrance archaeologist's dream come true. Sealed for over 3,000 years, the tomb yielded an olfactory time capsule, fragrant oils, unguent jars, and alabaster vessels that once cradled scents meant for the pharaoh's afterlife. These aromatic remnants spoke of a civilization that understood the transcendent power of scent, using it to bridge the realms of the living and the divine. Myrrh and kyphi. Ancient Egyptian alchemy. Myrrh, with its resinous richness, was a cornerstone of ancient Egyptian perfumery. It graced the tombs as an offering to the gods and adorned the bodies of the living and the deceased alike. Kyphi, an elaborate concoction of aromatic herbs, resins, and wine, was burned in temples during evening rituals. The aromatic cloud that enveloped these sacred spaces symbolized purification, protection, and communion with the divine. Indus Valley civilization. Aromatic mysteries unearthed. The secrets of ancient perfumery further unfold in the archaeological remnants of the Indus Valley civilization, one of the world's oldest urban cultures. Excavations at sites like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa have revealed a sophisticated society that engaged in the art of scent. Perfumed seals and bathing rituals. Intricately carved seals depicting figures adorned with perfumed flower necklaces provide a glimpse into the perfumed practices of the time. Bathing rituals, a significant part of daily life, were infused with fragrant oils and herbs. The people of the Indus Valley understood the transformative power of scent, using it not just for personal adornment but also as an integral part of their bathing and religious rituals. Ancient China. Aromatic harmonies in courtly elegance. Across the ancient Silk Road, the courts of China embraced the art of perfumery in their quest for opulence and refinement. Fragrance became a language of elegance, a courtly expression that unfolded in the realms of the imperial palaces. Incense and aromatic extravagance. The use of incense, crafted from a symphony of aromatic woods, herbs, and spices, became a hallmark of Chinese courtly life. The Ming and Qing dynasties witnessed an unparalleled fascination with aromatic extravagance. Intricately carved incense burners, made from precious materials, adorned the palaces, filling the air with the ethereal scents of sandalwood, aloeswood, and spices. In the amphitheaters of ancient Greece and the grandeur of Roman forums, fragrance found a place among the aesthetic pursuits of antiquity. Perfumes and scented oils became the olfactory companions of the citizens, an elegant expression of refinement and luxury. Ancient Greek elegance. The Greeks, with their penchant for beauty and aesthetics, embraced perfumery as an integral part of their grooming rituals. Scented oils, often infused with herbs and floral essences, were applied to the body after bathing. The pursuit of elegance extended to the art of perfumery, with scents becoming an accessory to the draped robes and laurel crowns worn by the citizens. Roman extravagance and unearthed Pompeii. The Romans, inheritors of Greek culture, elevated the olfactory arts to new heights. The city of Pompeii, preserved under layers of volcanic ash from the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, offered a glimpse into Roman fragrant extravagance. Perfume bottles, vials, and remnants of scented oils adorned the homes of Pompeii, reflecting a society that reveled in the opulence of fragrance. The Silk Road, aromatic crossroads of East and West. As we traverse the ancient Silk Road, the great transcontinental network of trade routes, fragrant materials become the cultural currency exchanged between East and West. From the aromatic bazaars of Samarkand to the spice markets of Constantinople, scent bridged continents, fostering a cross-cultural exchange of olfactory treasures. Spices, resins, and botanical alchemy. The Silk Road became a conduit for the trade of spices, resins, and botanicals that fueled the perfume traditions of both East and West. Aromatic materials like cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg from the East mingled with the resins of frankincense and myrrh from the Middle East, creating a fragrant kaleidoscope that transcended cultural boundaries. Conclusion: a fragrant epoch unearthed in the tombs and archaeological sites of ancient civilizations. The evidence of fragrant materials stands as an olfactory testament to the sophistication, spirituality, and aesthetic pursuits of our forebears. From the cradle of civilization to the crossroads of the Silk Road, the use of perfumes and fragrant oils becomes a fragrant epoch unearthed, a journey that spans continents and epochs, weaving scent into the very fabric of human history. Divine scents, the sacred alchemy of fragrance in ancient Egypt. In the sun-soaked expanse along the Nile, where the whispers of ancient pyramids echo through time, fragrance became more than a mere indulgence for the Egyptians. It was a sacred bridge that connected the earthly realm to the divine. In the aromatic tapestry of ancient Egypt, scents were woven into the very fabric of daily life, religious ceremonies, and the eternal journey to the afterlife. The Egyptians believed that the use of fragrance was a potent alchemy, with both spiritual and practical dimensions, invoking the presence of the divine in every fragrant offering. The spiritual essence of fragrance. For the ancient Egyptians, fragrance was not merely a sensory pleasure, it was a conduit to the divine, a language spoken between mortals and the gods. The olfactory arts held a sacred significance that permeated every aspect of Egyptian spirituality, from the grand rituals in towering temples to the personal devotions in the humblest of households. The temple rituals and divine aromas. In the sacred precincts of temples, the air was thick with the heady perfume of burning incense and aromatic offerings. The Egyptians believed that fragrant smoke carried their prayers and offerings to the gods, creating a direct line of communication with the divine. The use of incense, particularly varieties like myrrh and frankincense, became an integral part of temple rituals, symbolizing purification, protection, and the ephemeral nature of life. Myrrh and kyphi, the sacred blends. Myrrh, with its earthy and resinous aroma, held a special place in the Egyptian olfactory repertoire. It was considered a sacred resin, associated with the solar deity Ra and used in various religious ceremonies. Myrrh was not only an offering to the gods but also an anointing oil for statues and pharaohs, symbolizing divine protection and favor. Kyphi, a complex incense blend crafted from a harmonious mixture of myrrh, honey, wine, and various aromatic herbs, was another olfactory masterpiece of ancient Egypt. This sacred concoction was burned during evening rituals, creating an aromatic cloud that was believed to purify the air, ward off evil spirits, and invoke the blessings of the divine. Kai-fi was a manifestation of the Egyptians' belief that fragrance could transcend the material realm and connect them to the divine energies that governed the cosmos. Practical and symbolic uses of fragrance beyond the hallowed halls of temples. Fragrance permeated the practical and symbolic aspects of Egyptian life. The scented practices of the Egyptians extended into personal grooming, daily rituals, and even the preparation for the afterlife. Scented adornments and anointments. In the realm of personal grooming, the Egyptians embraced fragrant oils as an essential part of their daily rituals. Both men and women adorned themselves with scented oils, not only for cosmetic enhancement but also as a symbolic act with profound spiritual significance. Scented oils were used in abundance during bathing, a daily ritual that held both practical and symbolic importance. The act of anointing the body with fragrant oils was not just a cosmetic enhancement, it was a gesture of purification and preparation, aligning the individual with the sacred rhythms of life. The role of perfume in daily life. Perfumes were not reserved for grand ceremonies alone, they were integrated into everyday life. The Egyptians understood the transformative power of scent and used perfumes as a means of self-expression, social etiquette, and personal well-being. Perfumed cones, a popular cosmetic accessory, were worn on the heads of both men and women. These cones, made of fragrant materials like myrrh and frankincense, melted slowly in the heat, releasing a continuous veil of fragrance around the wearer. This practice was not only a nod to aesthetics but also a symbol of spiritual elevation, as the rising scent connected the individual to the celestial realms. Fragrance in the afterlife, a sacred journey. Continues. The Egyptians believed that the journey of fragrance extended beyond the boundaries of mortal life. In their elaborate rituals of mummification and preparation for the afterlife, scent played a crucial role in ensuring a harmonious transition into the divine realms. Myrrh and natron, preserving the soul's journey in the meticulous process of mummification. Myrrh took on a sacred role. The resin, with its preservative properties, was used to anoint the deceased, ensuring the preservation of the physical form for the journey to the afterlife. Myrrh became a guardian of the soul's passage, symbolizing the eternal nature of the spirit. Natron, a naturally occurring salt, was another aromatic element in the mummification process. It not only contributed to the preservation of the body but also held symbolic significance. The use of fragrant materials in the preparation of the deceased underscored the Egyptians' belief in the continuity of the soul beyond the physical vessel. Conclusion: fragrance as sacred language. In the symphony of ancient Egyptian life, fragrance emerged as a sacred language, a means of communication with the divine, an expression of reverence, and a thread that wove the earthly and spiritual realms into a seamless tapestry. From the grandeur of temple rituals to the intimate moments of personal grooming, the Egyptians believed that every fragrant offering had the power to transcend the material world and connect them to the eternal energies that shaped their existence. In the fragrant alchemy of ancient Egypt, scent was not just a sensory pleasure, it was a sacred language that spoke of the divine mysteries and the eternal journey of the soul. Aromatic alchemy, the origins of fragrance in ancient Egypt. In the land where the sun kissed the Nile's fertile banks, ancient Egypt unfolded as a cradle of aromatic wonders. The genesis of fragrance in this civilization was a tale of reverence, artistry, and an unwavering connection to the divine. From the sourcing of aromatic materials to the meticulous methods of extraction and the myriad uses of perfumes and incense, the olfactory landscape of ancient Egypt was a fragrant symphony that resonated through temples, palaces, and daily life. Sourcing aromatic materials, nature's fragrant gifts. The aromatic odyssey of ancient Egypt commenced with the meticulous sourcing of nature's fragrant gifts. Across the vast landscapes of the Nile Delta and the surrounding regions, Egyptians sought out botanical treasures that would become the building blocks of their perfumed legacy. Floral essences, the blossoming gardens. In the lush gardens that adorned the temples and palaces, flowers took center stage. Fragrant blooms like roses, jasmine, and lotus were cultivated for their aromatic essence. The lotus, in particular, held profound symbolic significance, representing rebirth and spiritual enlightenment. The petals of these flowers were carefully harvested to extract their precious essences, laying the foundation for exquisite floral perfumes. Resinous riches. Myrrh and frankincense. The arid landscapes of the Arabian Peninsula and the Horn of Africa were rich reservoirs of resins that would become sacred offerings and components of perfumery. Myrrh, with its earthy and balsamic aroma, was harvested from the commiphora trees. Frankincense, sourced from boswellia trees, offered a resinous and citrusy note. These aromatic treasures were not only prized for their fragrance but also held spiritual significance, often burned as incense in religious ceremonies. Woody wonders. Cedarwood and sandalwood. The Egyptian palate extended to the aromatic richness of woods. Cedarwood, with its warm and woody scent, was sourced from the Atlas Mountains. Sandalwood, prized for its creamy and sweet fragrance, found its way into the perfumer's repertoire. These woody wonders added depth and complexity to fragrances, creating olfactory symphonies that mirrored the diverse landscapes from which they originated. Extraction methods. Ancient alchemy unveiled. With nature's bounty in hand, the Egyptians embarked on the alchemical journey of extracting aromatic essences. Their methods, though ancient, laid the groundwork for perfumery techniques that would transcend centuries. Enfleurage. Capturing floral elegance. Enfleurage, an ancient method of extraction, involved placing fragrant flowers on a layer of fat or oil. The petals would infuse their essence into the medium, creating a highly concentrated and luxurious floral absolute. This technique, although labor-intensive, allowed the preservation of delicate floral notes that might be lost in other extraction methods. Maceration and distillation. Unlocking botanical secrets. Maceration, a process involving soaking aromatic materials in a solvent, was employed for extracting fragrances from resins, barks, and some flowers. Distillation, a more sophisticated method, involved heating the aromatic materials and collecting the resulting vapor. This technique, attributed to the ancient Egyptians, became a cornerstone in the extraction of essential oils, preserving the volatile compounds that gave each botanical its distinctive scent. Uses of perfumes and incense. From temples to palaces in the scented tapestry of ancient Egypt, perfumes and incense were not mere indulgences, they were sacred offerings, symbols of status, and essential elements in daily rituals. Sacred offerings in temples. The temples of ancient Egypt were enveloped in a fragrant haze, a result of the burning of incense and the offering of perfumed oils. Incense burners swung from chains in mesmerizing rhythms, releasing fragrant clouds of myrrh, frankincense, and kyphi, a sacred blend of aromatic herbs, honey, and wine. The Egyptians believed that the aromatic plumes carried their prayers and offerings to the gods, establishing a direct link between the earthly and divine realms. Personal adornments and grooming rituals. The use of perfumes transcended the sacred precincts of temples and permeated the intimate spheres of personal grooming. Both men and women adorned themselves with scented oils and unguents, turning fragrance into a personal statement of elegance and refinement. Perfumed cones, made from fragrant materials like myrrh and frankincense, were a popular cosmetic accessory. Worn on the heads of individuals, these cones melted gradually in the heat, releasing a continuous veil of fragrance that accompanied the wearer throughout the day. Perfumed oils were applied after bathing, turning the act of grooming into a sensory ritual that elevated the mundane to the divine. Luxury and status symbol. Perfumes became markers of social status and luxury in ancient Egyptian society. The elite adorned themselves with lavish scents, often stored in ornate containers made from precious materials like alabaster or glass. The choice of fragrance became a reflection of one's affluence and sophistication, creating an olfactory hierarchy that echoed through the corridors of palaces and grand residences. Conclusion. A perfumed legacy. The origins of fragrance in ancient Egypt were not just a matter of luxury or aesthetics, they were a sacred expression that resonated through the very fabric of life. From the sourcing of aromatic materials in nature's bounty to the alchemical extraction methods and the multifaceted uses of perfumes and incense, the Egyptians crafted a perfumed legacy that intertwined the earthly and the divine. In temples and palaces, in daily rituals and grand ceremonies, the aromatic alchemy of ancient Egypt left an indelible imprint on the olfactory history of humanity, a legacy that continues to waft through time, connecting us to the scented secrets of an ancient civilization. Fragrance in ancient Egypt, a tapestry of spiritual, funerary, and everyday significance in the sun-drenched realms along the Nile, where the sands whispered tales of ancient civilizations. Fragrance unfolded as an integral thread in the rich tapestry of life in ancient Egypt. Beyond its aesthetic allure, fragrance held profound religious, funerary, and practical significance. In the sacred precincts of temples, the solemn rituals of funerary practices, the intimate acts of personal grooming, and the pursuit of medicinal well-being, fragrance became a versatile and revered companion, a language that spoke of the divine, the ephemeral nature of life, and the intricate symphony of the senses. Religious significance, the scented path to the divine in the sacred corridors of Egyptian temples, fragrance transcended the physical realm, becoming a sacred language that connected mortals with the divine. The religious significance of fragrance permeated the very air of these hallowed spaces, creating an ethereal atmosphere where scents played a role in invoking, honoring, and communing with the gods. Incense offerings and sacred clouds incense, with its aromatic plumes rising in delicate spirals, became an offering of profound significance. The Egyptians believed that the scent of burning incense carried their prayers and offerings directly to the gods. The rhythmic swinging of censers, releasing clouds of myrrh, frankincense, and other aromatic blends, created a sensory symphony that reverberated through the sacred precincts. The aromatic clouds symbolized purification, protection, and the ephemeral nature of life, a fragrant bridge between the mortal and the divine. Myrrh and kyphi, sacred resins and blends. Myrrh, an earthy and resinous fragrance, held a sacred status in temple rituals. It was associated with solar deities like Ra and was used as an anointing oil for statues and pharaohs. The resin's rich aroma symbolized divine protection and favor. Kyphi, an elaborate incense blend, featured in evening rituals. Crafted from a harmonious mixture of myrrh, honey, wine, and various aromatic herbs, kyphi's fragrant cloud enveloped temples, creating an olfactory aura believed to purify the air and invite the blessings of the gods. The meticulous creation of kyphi was a form of alchemical devotion, an offering that transcended the material into the realm of the divine. Funerary practices, scented passages to the afterlife. In the intricate rituals of death and the journey to the afterlife, fragrance played a pivotal role in ancient Egyptian funerary practices. From the meticulous process of mummification to the symbolic use of scented materials, the Egyptians believed that fragrance paved the way for the soul's journey into the next realm. Myrrh and natron, preserving the soul's passage. Myrrh, with its preservative properties, became a guardian of the soul's passage through the ritual of mummification. Anointing the deceased with myrrh ensured the preservation of the physical form, a crucial aspect of the soul's journey to the afterlife. The resin, with its deep and balsamic aroma, symbolized the eternal nature of the spirit. Natron, a naturally occurring salt, was another aromatic element in the mummification process. Used to dry and preserve the body, natron held symbolic significance. The fragrant materials used in the preparation of the deceased underscored the Egyptians' belief in the continuity of the soul beyond the physical vessel. Scented amulets and oils, guardians in the afterlife. Scented amulets, often placed with the deceased, carried fragrances that were believed to protect and guide the soul in the afterlife. These aromatic talismans were thought to provide comfort and assurance as the departed embarked on their journey through the realms beyond. Personal grooming, elegance and symbolism. Beyond the sacred precincts and funerary rituals, fragrance became an intimate companion in the daily grooming practices of ancient Egyptians. Both a symbol of elegance and a reflection of spiritual beliefs, the use of perfumes and scented oils turned personal grooming into a sensory ritual with layers of meaning. Perfumed cones and anointing oils. Perfumed cones, made from fragrant materials like myrrh and frankincense, adorned the heads of both men and women. These cones melted gradually, releasing a continuous veil of fragrance that accompanied the wearer throughout the day. The act of wearing perfumed cones was not only a cosmetic enhancement but also a symbol of spiritual elevation, as the rising scent connected the individual to the celestial realms. Anointing oils, infused with fragrant essences, became essential components of bathing rituals. The application of scented oils after bathing was not merely a cosmetic act, it was a symbolic gesture of purification, aligning the individual with the sacred rhythms of life. Medicinal practices. Fragrance as remedial balm. The aromatic bounty of nature wasn't limited to religious rituals or personal adornment, it extended into the realm of healing and medicinal practices. Fragrance, with its therapeutic properties, became a remedial balm for various ailments, blending the sacred with the practical. Aromatic herbs and healing blends. Aromatic herbs, carefully selected for their medicinal properties, found their way into healing concoctions. Infusions and balms crafted from fragrant herbs like thyme, lavender, and chamomile were used to address ailments ranging from respiratory issues to skin conditions. The Egyptians recognized the therapeutic power of fragrance, infusing their medicinal practices with the scents of nature. Inhalation and aromatherapy. Inhalation of aromatic vapors was a common therapeutic practice. Fragrant oils and herbal blends were inhaled for their calming, soothing, or invigorating effects. The Egyptians intuitively understood the impact of scent on well-being, incorporating aromatherapy into their medicinal repertoire. Conclusion: fragrance as sacred language, daily ritual, and healing balm. In the aromatic journey of ancient Egypt, fragrance wasn't confined to temples or grand ceremonies, it permeated every facet of life. From the sacred incense offerings in temples to the scented passages of funerary practices, from the intimate acts of personal grooming to the therapeutic balm of medicinal practices, fragrance became a versatile and revered companion, a language that spoke of the divine, the ephemeral nature of life, and the intricate symphony of the senses. In the olfactory landscape of ancient Egypt, fragrance wasn't just a sensory delight, it was a sacred language, a daily ritual, and a healing balm that echoed through the corridors of time, connecting us to the scented legacy of an ancient civilization. A fragrant odyssey, ancient origins of scent in Egypt. In the cradle of civilization, where the Nile's gentle caress nurtured a civilization that would stand the test of time, fragrance emerged as a profound expression of life. The ancient Egyptians, masterful architects of an olfactory symphony that echoed through the ages. To delve into the ancient origins of fragrance in Egypt is to embark on a fragrant odyssey that unveils not just the aromatic allure but the deep-rooted significant scent held in the tapestry of ancient Egyptian life. Nature's bounty. Sourcing fragrant treasures. The genesis of fragrance in ancient Egypt lay in the fertile embrace of nature. The Egyptians, attuned to the rhythmic pulse of the land, sought aromatic treasures that nature generously bestowed upon them. From the verdant banks of the Nile to the arid stretches of distant lands, the sourcing of fragrant materials became an art, an alchemical dance with the elements. Floral extravagance. Roses, jasmine, and lotus flowers, with their delicate and ephemeral beauty, became the first brushstrokes in the canvas of ancient Egyptian perfumery. Roses, with their heady and sweet aroma, graced the gardens of temples and palaces. Jasmine, with its intoxicating fragrance, was cultivated for its precious essence. The lotus, revered for its symbolic significance of rebirth, unfolded its petals to reveal a scent that mirrored the pristine purity of its blossoms. The art of enfleurage, a method of extracting essences by placing flowers on a layer of fat or oil, allowed the Egyptians to capture the fleeting elegance of these blooms. This intricate dance with nature marked the beginning of an ancient perfumed legacy. Resinous riches. Myrrh and frankincense. Venturing beyond their borders, the Egyptians sought the resinous riches of myrrh and frankincense. Myrrh, extracted from the commiphora trees, exuded an earthy and balsamic aroma. Frankincense, harvested from the boswellia trees, released a resinous and citrusy bouquet. These aromatic treasures, with their origins in the arid landscapes of the Arabian Peninsula and the Horn of Africa, became sacred offerings and essential components in the aromatic repertoire of the ancient Egyptians. Woody wonders. Cedarwood and sandalwood. The aromatic palette expanded to embrace the woody wonders sourced from distant lands. Cedarwood, with its warm and woody scent, found its way from the Atlas Mountains. Sandalwood, prized for its creamy and sweet fragrance, became a coveted addition to the perfumer's palette. These woody notes added depth and complexity to fragrances, creating olfactory symphonies that echoed the diverse landscapes from which they originated. Extraction alchemy. From nature to essence, the ancient Egyptians, akin to alchemists of fragrance, devised meticulous methods to extract essences from nature's bounty. Their extraction techniques, though rooted in antiquity, laid the foundation for perfumery practices that would evolve through the ages. Enfleurage, capturing the essence of blooms. Enfleurage, a method as delicate as the petals it sought to capture, allowed the Egyptians to extract essences from flowers. The blossoms were placed on a layer of fat or oil, and as they infused their aroma into the medium, a highly concentrated floral absolute was born. This method, albeit labor-intensive, preserved the nuances of delicate blooms that might be lost in other extraction processes. Maceration and distillation, unveiling botanical secrets. Maceration, involving the soaking of aromatic materials in a solvent, was employed for resins, barks, and certain flowers. Distillation, a more sophisticated technique attributed to the ancient Egyptians, involved heating aromatic materials and collecting the resulting vapor. This method became a cornerstone in the extraction of essential oils, preserving the volatile compounds that bestowed each botanical with its distinctive scent. Aromatic alchemy, the role of fragrance in daily life. In ancient Egypt, fragrance transcended the realm of perfumed rituals, it wove itself into the very fabric of daily life. The Egyptians, intuitively understanding the impact of scent on the human experience, integrated fragrance into moments both grand and mundane. Personal adornments and grooming rituals. Fragrance became a means of personal expression, a language spoken through scented adornments and grooming rituals. Perfumed cones, made from fragrant materials like myrrh and frankincense, adorned the heads of both men and women. These cones, melting slowly in the heat, released a continuous veil of fragrance, a personal aura that accompanied the wearer throughout the day. Perfumed oils, infused with the essence of nature's bounty, became essential in daily grooming. Bathing rituals were elevated to sensory experiences, with the application of scented oils becoming a symbolic act of purification and alignment with the sacred rhythms of life. Scented ambience, the everyday incense. Incense, once confined to temples, found its way into everyday life. The gentle wafting of fragrant smoke became a backdrop to daily activities, creating an aromatic ambience that enriched the sensory landscape of homes and streets alike. The Egyptians understood that fragrance could transform the mundane into the extraordinary. Rituals and symbolism, fragrance in sacred spaces. The sacred precincts of temples were drenched in fragrance, where rituals and symbolism intertwined to create a sacred language of scent that connected mortals with the divine. Incense offerings, a fragrant bridge to the gods. Incense offerings, particularly myrrh and frankincense, became a fragrant bridge between the earthly and divine realms. The rhythmic swinging of censers, releasing clouds of aromatic plumes, symbolized purification, protection, and the ephemeral nature of life. The Egyptians believed that the scent of burning incense carried their prayers directly to the gods, creating a sensory connection that transcended the material world. Sacred blends, Kai-Fi and divine alchemy. Kai-Fi, a complex incense blend crafted from myrrh, frankincense, honey, wine, and aromatic herbs, became an embodiment of divine alchemy. Burned during evening rituals, Kai-Fi created an olfactory cloud believed to purify the air, ward off evil spirits, and invite the blessings of the gods. The creation of Kai-Fi was not just a perfumed art, it was a sacred act, a manifestation of the Egyptians' belief in the transformative power of fragrance. Conclusion: echoes of an ancient fragrance legacy. In the ancient origins of fragrance in Egypt, we uncover not just the aromatic allure but the profound impact of scent on the lives of the ancient Egyptians. From the sourcing of fragrant treasures in nature's embrace to the alchemical extraction processes that unveiled botanical secrets, fragrance became an art, a science, and a sacred language. It intertwined with daily life, elevated personal grooming to a sensory ritual, and wafted through sacred spaces, connecting mortals with the divine. The echoes of this ancient fragrance legacy reverberate through time, reminding us that scent, in its ephemeral beauty, transcends eras and cultures, a timeless expression that weaves itself into the very fabric of human existence. Chapter 2: The Art of Perfumery in Ancient Egypt. Perfumed splendors, the apex of ancient Egyptian perfumery in the sun-soaked landscapes along the Nile, where the sands whispered ancient secrets and the breeze carried the essence of blooming flowers, the art of perfumery in ancient Egypt reached a zenith of sophistication. Skilled artisans and perfumers, inspired by the bounties of nature and guided by a deep reverence for fragrance, developed intricate techniques that elevated the creation of scents to an unparalleled level of artistry. In this olfactory odyssey, the aromatic tapestry of ancient Egypt unfolded as a testament to the ingenuity, craftsmanship, and spiritual significance woven into every drop of exquisite fragrance. The perfumer's atelier, mastering the craft within the bustling streets of ancient Egyptian cities and the grand halls of palaces, the perfumer's atelier emerged as a sanctuary of creativity and meticulous craftsmanship. Perfumers, often revered for their skills akin to alchemy, embarked on a journey that went beyond the mere blending of scents. It was an exploration of nature's treasures and an endeavor to capture the essence of the divine. Botanical harvesting. Nature's bounty unveiled. The art of perfumery commenced with the careful harvesting of nature's aromatic treasures. Gardens surrounding temples and palaces burgeoned with fragrant blooms, roses, jasmine, and lotus that would become the foundation of exquisite scents. Perfumers, attuned to the cycles of nature, selected blossoms at their peak, understanding that the timing of harvest was crucial to capturing the most vibrant and nuanced aromas. Extraction techniques. Unveiling nature's secrets in the perfumer's repertoire, extraction techniques became an alchemical dance with nature. The ancient Egyptians, masters of aromatic alchemy, employed various methods to capture the volatile essences of flowers, resins, and woods. Enfleurage. Preserving floral elegance. Enfleurage, a technique rooted in delicacy, involved placing fragrant blooms on a layer of fat or oil. As the petals released their essence into the medium, a highly concentrated floral absolute was born. This method, although labor-intensive, allowed the preservation of delicate floral notes that might be lost in other extraction techniques. Perfumers perfected the art of enfleurage, creating fragrances that mirrored the ephemeral beauty of blooming flowers. Maceration and distillation. Ancient alchemy unveiled maceration, a process of soaking aromatic materials in a solvent, was employed for resins, barks, and certain flowers. This method allowed the extraction of fragrant compounds through gentle immersion, unveiling the depth of aromas hidden within nature's bounty. Distillation, a more sophisticated technique, involved heating aromatic materials and collecting the resulting vapor. This process, attributed to the ancient Egyptians, became a cornerstone in the extraction of essential oils. Perfumers, through the art of distillation, could capture the most intricate and volatile facets of botanicals, creating fragrances that resonated with complexity and depth. Blending, artistry and harmony. The true mastery of ancient Egyptian perfumery lay in the art of blending. Perfumers, akin to skilled composers orchestrating a symphony, combined individual notes with precision to create harmonious fragrances that unfolded like olfactory poetry. Top, middle, and base notes. A fragrant sonata. The concept of top, middle, and base notes, fundamental to modern perfumery, found its roots in ancient Egypt. Perfumers understood the importance of layering scents to create compositions that evolved over time. Top notes. The prelude top notes, often derived from citrusy or lighter floral essences, provided the initial burst of fragrance. These notes, fleeting and effervescent, captivated the senses and set the stage for the olfactory journey that awaited. Middle notes. The melody. The heart of the fragrance resided in the middle notes. Perfumers incorporated floral, spicy, or herbal elements that unfolded gradually, creating a melody that lingered and defined the character of the scent. Base notes. The crescendo. The enduring allure of a fragrance rested in the base notes, rich, woody, and resinous elements that anchored the composition. These notes, slowly revealing themselves over time, added depth and longevity to the olfactory experience. Signature blends. Artisanal elegance. Perfumers in ancient Egypt were revered for their ability to craft signature blends that transcended the ordinary. These blends, often unique to specific individuals or occasions, became olfactory signatures that resonated with artisanal elegance. Spiritual significance. Fragrance as offering beyond the aesthetic and sensory pleasures, fragrances in ancient Egypt held profound spiritual significance. Temples, the sacred abodes of the divine, were suffused with aromatic offerings that formed a fragrant bridge between mortals and gods. Incense rituals, sacred plumes of scent incense, particularly myrrh and frankincense, became the vessel through which prayers ascended to the heavens. The rhythmic swinging of censers released fragrant plumes that symbolized purification, protection, and a communion with the divine. Perfumers crafted incense blends, including the sacred kyphi, as offerings that transcended the material into the spiritual. Luxury and symbolism. Perfumes as art perfumes, beyond their utilitarian aspects, became symbols of luxury, status, and artistic expression. Elaborate containers crafted from precious materials adorned with intricate designs became vessels for these precious elixirs. The act of applying perfume became a ritual of elegance and refinement, reflecting the sophisticated tastes of the wearer. Legacy of ancient Egyptian perfumery. A fragrant eternity as the sun set over the ancient Egyptian landscapes, leaving whispers of fragrance in its wake, the legacy of perfumery forged in this cradle of civilization echoed through the ages. The intricate techniques, artistic blends, and spiritual significance that defined ancient Egyptian perfumery laid the groundwork for a fragrant tradition that transcended eras. From the perfumer's atelier to the sacred temples, the art of perfumery in ancient Egypt reached unparalleled heights of sophistication. Skilled artisans, guided by a profound understanding of nature and a spiritual connection to fragrance, created olfactory masterpieces that spoke of elegance, luxury, and the eternal dance between the earthly and the divine. The fragrant echoes of this ancient legacy continue to permeate the air, a timeless testament to the enduring allure and artistry of perfumery born along the banks of the Nile. Egypt. Ancient Egyptian perfumery, a symphony of botanical alchemy in the heart of ancient Egypt, where the golden sands cradled a civilization steeped in mysticism and grandeur. The art of perfumery emerged as a revered craft, an alchemical symphony that harmonized the essence of nature with the spiritual aspirations of a mighty civilization. Meticulous methods and exquisite ingredients were the keystones of this aromatic tapestry, where perfumers, akin to modern-day alchemists, transformed botanical treasures into elixirs that transcended the ordinary. In the fragrant corridors of ancient Egyptian perfumery, the meticulous processes of extracting essential oils from plants, flowers, and resins unfolded a journey of sensory exploration and spiritual significance. Botanical bounty, nature's gift to perfumery. The canvas of ancient Egyptian perfumery was painted with an array of botanical treasures, each holding its unique olfactory secrets. From the verdant banks of the Nile to the arid stretches of distant lands, perfumers sought out the finest raw materials to craft their aromatic masterpieces. Floral extravagance, roses, jasmine, and lotus roses, with their velvety petals and intoxicating aroma, graced the gardens surrounding temples and palaces. Jasmine, with its heady and seductive fragrance, was cultivated for its precious essence. The lotus, revered for its symbolic significance of rebirth, unfolded its petals to reveal a scent that mirrored the pristine purity of its blossoms. These flowers, plucked at the peak of their aromatic splendor, formed the heart of many ancient Egyptian perfumes. Resinous riches, myrrh and frankincense venturing beyond their borders, the Egyptians sought the resinous riches of myrrh and frankincense. Myrrh, extracted from the commiphora trees, exuded an earthy and balsamic aroma. Frankincense, harvested from the boswellia trees, released a resinous and citrusy bouquet. These aromatic treasures, originating from the arid landscapes of the Arabian Peninsula and the Horn of Africa, became sacred offerings and essential components in the aromatic repertoire of ancient Egyptian perfumery. Woody wonders, cedarwood and sandalwood. The aromatic palette expanded to embrace the woody wonders sourced from distant lands. Cedarwood, with its warm and woody scent, found its way from the Atlas Mountains. Sandalwood, prized for its creamy and sweet fragrance, became a coveted addition to the perfumer's palette. These woody notes added depth and complexity to fragrances, creating olfactory symphonies that echoed the diverse landscapes from which they originated. Extraction techniques, unveiling nature's secrets in the perfumer's atelier. The meticulous extraction of essential oils became an art form, a delicate dance between human ingenuity and nature's bounty. Ancient Egyptian perfumers employed various techniques to capture the volatile essences of flowers, resins, and woods, unveiling the hidden secrets within botanical treasures. Enfleurage, capturing the essence of blooms. Enfleurage, a technique rooted in delicacy, allowed perfumers to capture the fleeting elegance of delicate blooms. The process involved placing fragrant flowers, such as roses or jasmine, on a layer of fat or oil. As the petals released their essence into the medium, a highly concentrated floral absolute was born. This method, although labor-intensive, preserved the nuances of delicate floral notes that might be lost in other extraction processes. Maceration, soaking in nature's essence. Maceration, a process of soaking aromatic materials in a solvent, was employed for resins, barks, and certain flowers. Perfumers would immerse the botanicals in a chosen medium, allowing the solvent to absorb the aromatic compounds over time. This method, although less refined than distillation, was effective in capturing the essence of materials that might be damaged by heat. Distillation, the art of transformative vapor distillation, a sophisticated technique attributed to ancient Egyptians, involved heating aromatic materials and collecting the resulting vapor. This process, often considered the pinnacle of botanical extraction, allowed perfumers to obtain essential oils with remarkable purity. In the alembic, a distillation apparatus, the volatile compounds within the botanicals transformed into fragrant vapors and were then condensed back into liquid form. Distillation became a cornerstone in the extraction of essential oils, preserving the intricate nuances and volatile facets of botanicals. Blending, the alchemy of perfume creation. Once the essential oils were extracted, the true artistry of ancient Egyptian perfumery unfolded in the blending process. Perfumers, revered for their olfactory expertise, combined individual notes with precision to create harmonious fragrances that unfolded like olfactory poetry. Top, middle, and base notes. A fragrant sonata. The concept of top, middle, and base notes, fundamental to modern perfumery, found its roots in ancient Egypt. Perfumers understood the importance of layering scents to create compositions that evolved over time. Top notes. The prelude top notes, often derived from citrusy or lighter floral essences, provided the initial burst of fragrance. These notes, fleeting and effervescent, captivated the senses and set the stage for the olfactory journey that awaited. Middle notes. The melody. The heart of the fragrance resided in the middle notes. Perfumers incorporated floral, spicy, or herbal elements that unfolded gradually, creating a melody that lingered and defined the character of the scent. Base notes. The crescendo. The enduring allure of a fragrance rested in the base notes, rich, woody, and resinous elements that anchored the composition. These notes, slowly revealing themselves over time, added depth and longevity to the olfactory experience. Signature blends. Artisanal elegance. Perfumers in ancient Egypt were revered for their ability to craft signature blends that transcended the ordinary. These blends, often unique to specific individuals or occasions, became olfactory signatures that resonated with artisanal elegance. A fragrant tapestry. The profound significance of scents in society. In the symphony of human experience, where the senses intertwine with culture, emotion, and identity, scents emerge as powerful notes that compose the narrative of our lives. The creation and wearing of perfumes, an ancient and cross-cultural practice, carry profound societal importance, a ritual that transcends the mundane to become a language of expression, connection, and status. This fragrant tapestry, woven through the ages, reveals how different scents have played a pivotal role in shaping societies, fostering relationships, and reflecting the ever-evolving nuances of human existence. The olfactory language, expression beyond words. Long before words could articulate emotions, scents spoke a language of their own, a primal and visceral communication that transcended linguistic boundaries. The creation and wearing of perfumes became a means of expressing individuality, emotion, and identity in a world often bound by societal conventions. Personal expression. A fragrant identity. Perfumes, like olfactory signatures, carry the essence of an individual's personality. The choice of scent becomes a deliberate act of self-expression, allowing wearers to convey facets of their identity that words may fail to capture. From the bold and assertive to the subtle and introspective, different scents become extensions of the self, leaving an indelible mark on personal interactions and memories. Societal messages, cultural and historical narratives. The significance of different scents extends beyond personal expression to encompass broader cultural and historical narratives. In societies across the globe, the creation and wearing of perfumes have been intertwined with rituals, traditions, and societal norms. The aromatic trail left by ancient civilizations, royal courts, and modern communities narrate stories of trade, conquest, and cultural exchange, forming a fragrant tapestry that reflects the pulse of humanity. Emotional resonance, aromas and memory. The olfactory sense, intricately linked to the brain's limbic system, holds the power to evoke memories and elicit emotions with unparalleled potency. The significance of different scents in society becomes a journey through time and emotions, where the creation and wearing of perfumes become vessels that transport individuals to moments, places, and emotions long past. Personal memories, a fragrant chronicle. The scents associated with significant life events, from the comforting embrace of a familiar fragrance to the lingering aroma of a special occasion, become chapters in an individual's olfactory autobiography. Perfumes, carefully chosen and worn, become time capsules that encapsulate memories, creating a fragrant chronicle of one's personal history. Collective memory, scented societal milestones beyond individual recollections. Different scents contribute to collective memory, marking societal milestones and cultural shifts. The creation and wearing of perfumes become intertwined with historical moments, from the fragrances that adorned ancient rituals to the signature scents of influential figures. Societies, like individuals, carry within them the aromatic imprints of their past, present, and aspirations for the future. Social connection, the aromatic thread in the intricate tapestry of social interactions. Different scents act as the threads that weave individuals into the fabric of community and connection. The creation and wearing of perfumes become rituals that transcend the individual to foster a sense of belonging and shared experiences. Attraction and repellence, the unspoken dance. The significance of different scents in matters of attraction and repulsion is a universal aspect of human interaction. Perfumes, carefully selected and applied, become tools of attraction, drawing individuals together through the magnetic allure of fragrance. Conversely, the avoidance of certain scents can signal discomfort, creating an unspoken dance where olfactory preferences shape social dynamics. Rituals of connection, shared aromas in communal settings. The creation and wearing of perfumes take on communal significance. Shared aromas, whether in religious ceremonies, cultural celebrations, or familial gatherings, become the threads that bind communities together. Perfumes, in these contexts, transform into symbols of shared identity, creating a sensory bond that transcends linguistic and cultural differences. Status and symbolism, the perfumed emissaries of power throughout history. The creation and wearing of perfumes have been synonymous with status and symbolism. Different scents, carefully chosen and reserved for specific occasions, became markers of social standing, wealth, and influence. Perfumes, as emissaries of power, conveyed messages of opulence, sophistication, and societal position. Ancient symbolism, fragrant pharaohs and nobility. In ancient civilizations, rulers and nobility often utilized different scents as symbols of authority and divine connection. Perfumes adorned pharaohs in ancient Egypt, serving as offerings to the gods and markers of royal prestige. The significance of different scents extended to other elite circles, where the wearing of perfumes became an emblem of societal hierarchy. Modern luxury, fragrance as a status symbol in contemporary society. The creation and wearing of perfumes continue to hold symbolic significance. Luxury fragrances, often crafted with rare and exquisite ingredients, become status symbols that convey sophistication, taste, and financial affluence. The choice of a particular scent can communicate social aspirations and align with the ever-shifting currents of fashion and cultural trends. The evolution of craft, artistry, and innovation. The significance of different scents in society is also intricately tied to the evolution of the perfumery craft. The creation and wearing of perfumes embody an artistry that combines tradition with innovation, reflecting the dynamic interplay between the timeless allure of classic scents and the ever-changing landscape of modernity. Artistic expression. Perfumes as wearable art. Perfumes, crafted by skilled perfumers, are not merely utilitarian commodities but wearable works of art. The creation of perfumes involves a symphony of notes, a delicate dance of blending and harmonizing, akin to a painter selecting colors for a canvas. Different scents become strokes in an olfactory masterpiece, allowing wearers to carry a piece of artistic expression with them. Technological advancements. Innovation in perfumery. The significance of different scents evolves with technological advancements in perfumery. From the ancient extraction techniques rooted in enfleurage, maceration, and distillation to modern methods incorporating cutting-edge technology, the craft of perfumery adapts to the tools at hand. Innovations such as synthetic fragrance compounds and advanced distillation processes contribute to the ever-expanding palette available to contemporary perfumers. Scented reverence. The intersection of perfumes in rituals and everyday life. In the vast mosaic of human experience, the role of perfumes extends far beyond the realm of personal adornment. It intertwines with the sacred, permeates the mundane, and fuels the wheels of trade and commerce. This olfactory journey navigates through the scented corridors of religious rituals, everyday life, and the bustling markets where fragrant materials become the currency of a fragrant trade. Aromatic devotion. Perfumes in religious rituals. From the ancient temples of yore to the hallowed halls of modern places of worship, the use of perfumes in religious rituals transcends time and culture. The aromatic dance of fragrances becomes an integral part of spiritual practices, weaving a tapestry that connects the earthly to the divine. Symbolism in scents. An offering to the divine. The use of perfumes in religious ceremonies is laden with symbolism, a sensory language that communicates devotion and reverence. Fragrant offerings, often composed of rare and precious materials, symbolize the earnest desire to create a sensory bridge between the worshippers and the divine. Incense, with its billowing plumes of scented smoke, becomes a tangible manifestation of prayers rising to the heavens. Holy sanctuaries. A fragrant atmosphere. Perfumes, with their ethereal quality, contribute to the creation of a sacred atmosphere within religious spaces. The strategic use of specific scents becomes a tool for invoking a contemplative mood, enhancing the spiritual experience for worshippers. From the soothing embrace of lavender to the resinous richness of frankincense, different scents evoke emotions, creating an environment conducive to reflection and prayer. The ritual of anointing. Sacred oils and balms. Anointing with sacred oils, a practice found in various religious traditions, transforms the act of touch into a fragrant ritual. Priests, devotees, or individuals partaking in religious ceremonies often anoint themselves or others with perfumed oils. This ritualistic act, laden with symbolism, signifies consecration, purification, and the acknowledgement of a divine presence. Everyday elegance. Scents in daily life. While the allure of perfumes is heightened in religious contexts, their impact permeates the fabric of everyday life. The scents that accompany individuals through mundane routines become the silent narrators of personal stories, emotions, and cultural nuances. Personal adornment. A fragrant signature. The application of perfumes in daily life transforms into a personal ritual, a sensory signature that accompanies individuals on their journeys. The choice of a particular scent becomes an extension of identity, reflecting mood, personality, and the desired ambience. From the invigorating citrus notes for a morning pick-me-up to the soothing embrace of floral accords in the evening, different scents act as companions through the ebb and flow of daily existence. Intimate moments. Fragrance in relationships. Perfumes become the invisible threads that weave through intimate moments, leaving lasting impressions on the tapestry of relationships. The scent of a loved one's skin, enhanced by a carefully chosen fragrance, becomes a source of comfort and familiarity. In romantic gestures, the exchange of perfumed gifts becomes a poetic expression of affection, each fragrance encapsulating the essence of shared experiences. Cultural significance. Scents as tradition. Different cultures infuse daily life with scents that hold cultural significance. In some regions, the burning of incense in homes is a customary practice, believed to purify the living space and invite positive energies. In others, The application of scented oils during traditional ceremonies or family gatherings becomes a link to ancestral traditions, passed down through generations. Commerce in fragrance. The trade of aromatic treasures. The allure of different scents extends its influence into the bustling markets and trade routes where fragrant materials transform into commodities. The commerce of perfumes, essential oils, and aromatic materials is a global enterprise, enriching economies and cultures alike. Aromatic treasures. The fragrant marketplace markets around the world are adorned with stalls brimming with aromatic treasures. The trade of perfumes, resins, essential oils, and botanical extracts creates a vibrant marketplace where different scents become commodities of desire. From the spice markets of Marrakech, where exotic blends tease the senses, to the Grasse region of France, famed for its floral fields that birth iconic fragrances, the fragrance trade weaves through diverse landscapes. Historical roots. Fragrance along trade routes. Historically, the trade of fragrant materials followed the winding paths of ancient trade routes. Spices, resins, and aromatic plants traversed the Silk Road, connecting the east to the west. Fragrant treasures from the Far East, including sandalwood, agarwood, and spices, found their way to European markets, shaping the olfactory preferences of societies along the way. Global influence. Cultural exchange through scents. The commerce of perfumes facilitates a cultural exchange where different scents become emissaries of distant lands. The adoption of exotic ingredients and fragrance traditions from one culture to another enriches the olfactory landscape, creating a tapestry woven from the threads of diverse aromatic heritages. Conclusion. The fragrant tapestry unfurls as we navigate through the intersections of perfumes in religious rituals, the intricacies of daily life, and the dynamic commerce of fragrant materials. A fragrant tapestry unfurls, a testament to the profound impact of different scents on the human experience. From the sacred halls of worship to the intimate corners of personal existence, the allure of perfumes becomes an ever-present companion, enriching the sensory symphony that defines our journey through the world. The trade and commerce of fragrant materials, a timeless endeavor, echo the footsteps of ancestors along ancient trade routes, connecting cultures and shaping the aromatic narratives of societies across the globe. In this fragrant tapestry, perfumes emerge not only as vessels of scent but as cultural artifacts, spiritual conduits, and aromatic emissaries that transcend time and boundaries. Eternal elegance. The art of perfumery in ancient Egypt. In the embrace of the golden sands, where the timeless Nile River weaves through history, ancient Egypt emerges as a civilization that not only birthed monumental wonders but also embraced the art of perfumery with a sophistication that resonates through the ages. The fragrant echoes of this extraordinary culture reveal a deeper understanding of how fragrance held cultural, social, and economic significance, becoming an integral thread in the intricate tapestry of ancient Egyptian life. Cultural richness. Perfumes as sacred offerings. In the sacred sanctuaries of ancient Egypt, the art of perfumery became a divine symphony, an offering to the gods that transcended the material realm. Temples adorned with aromatic botanicals and the wafting trails of incense bore witness to the spiritual importance placed on fragrance. Divine connections. Perfumes in religious rituals. Perfumes were integral to religious rituals, serving as offerings to deities in temples scattered along the Nile. Each fragrance, carefully crafted from botanical treasures, became a sacred emissary, an olfactory bridge connecting the earthly with the divine. Incense, with its billowing tendrils of scented smoke, filled the sacred spaces, creating an ethereal atmosphere for worship and invoking a sensory dialogue with the gods. Symbolism in scents, anointing and purification. The symbolic use of perfumes extended beyond the temple walls to daily rituals of anointing and purification. Sacred oils, infused with botanical essences, were employed in ceremonies to consecrate individuals, objects, and even the sacred spaces themselves. The act of anointing became a fragrant ritual, symbolizing purity, protection, and divine favor. Social elegance. Perfumes as expressions of status. In the vibrant tapestry of ancient Egyptian society, perfumes were not mere adornments, they were expressions of social standing, grace, and personal elegance. The choice of fragrances, often crafted from rare and exotic ingredients, became a subtle language that communicated sophistication and refinement. Adornments of royalty. pharaohs and nobility. The illustrious pharaohs and nobility of ancient Egypt were adorned with perfumes befitting their exalted status. Fragrances crafted from precious resins, floral essences, and exotic spices adorned the royalty, becoming olfactory signatures that resonated with opulence. Scented oils, often housed in ornate containers, were not only symbols of wealth but also expressions of divine favor bestowed upon the ruling elite. Everyday luxury, perfumes for the elite. While the pharaohs reveled in bespoke fragrances, the elite members of society also indulged in the luxury of perfumes. Exquisite blends of myrrh, frankincense, and floral essences graced the noble class, elevating their everyday lives with the intoxicating allure of scents that mirrored the richness of their surroundings. Economic brilliance, fragrance trade and commerce. The aromatic treasures of ancient Egypt extended beyond personal adornment and ritualistic practices. They formed a flourishing economic enterprise that enriched the civilization. The fragrance trade, centered around the cultivation and extraction of botanical essences, contributed to the prosperity of the region. Aromatic agriculture, botanical bounty of the Nile. The fertile banks of the Nile River were not only the lifeblood of ancient Egypt but also the cradle of botanical bounty. Fragrant flowers, herbs, and resins thrived in this verdant landscape, providing perfumers with an abundant palette of aromatic materials. Lotus, rose, jasmine, and myrrh were among the botanical gems that graced the Egyptian soil, destined to become the aromatic treasures of the civilization. Exotic imports, fragrant treasures from afar. While the Nile region was a fragrant haven, the Egyptians also engaged in trade to acquire exotic ingredients not native to their land. Spices, resins, and rare woods arrived via trade routes, infusing the Egyptian fragrance repertoire with a global richness. The economic brilliance of this trade not only bolstered the fragrance industry but also fostered cultural exchange and diplomatic ties with neighboring civilizations. Craftsmanship, the alchemy of perfume creation. At the heart of the ancient Egyptian fragrance legacy lay the craftsmanship of perfumers, artisans whose alchemical skills transformed raw botanical materials into elixirs of olfactory splendor. The meticulous processes of extraction, blending, and aging were honed to perfection, creating fragrances that transcended the mundane to become time capsules of elegance and sophistication. Extraction techniques, enfleurage and distillation. Perfumers in ancient Egypt were pioneers in the art of extracting essential oils, employing techniques that showcased their mastery. Enfleurage, a delicate method involving the absorption of flower essences into fats, allowed the capture of delicate floral notes. Distillation, another groundbreaking technique, involved the transformation of aromatic compounds into fragrant vapors and their subsequent condensation, yielding purer and more concentrated essences. Blending, the olfactory symphony. The blending of fragrances was an art form that echoed through the ateliers of ancient Egypt. Perfumers, akin to modern-day alchemists, combined individual notes with precision, creating harmonious compositions that unfolded like olfactory symphonies. The layering of top, middle, and base notes became a signature technique, ensuring that the fragrances evolved gracefully on the skin. Conclusion: fragrant legacies of the Nile. As we delve into the art of perfumery in ancient Egypt, a profound legacy unfolds, a testament to the cultural, social, and economic significance of fragrance in this remarkable civilization. The scented echoes of temple rituals, the elegant expressions of social status, and the bustling fragrance trade reveal a civilization that not only revered perfumes as sacred emissaries but also elevated them to the status of cultural treasures. In the golden embrace of the Nile, where lotus blooms and myrrh resin perfumed the air, the art of perfumery in ancient Egypt remains an eternal testament to the enduring allure of fragrance in the annals of human history.